Check 1, 2. You know what it is. Episode 454 of the New Old Heads podcast is in your phone right now. We had a special guest this episode. Mr. Tony Styxx sat in with us. And you know what? We had a lot to discuss. Kanye West has a new documentary out. And is this a cry for help? Is this even a cry for help that we should pay attention to? We talked about it. Also, we had to discuss some new music by Infinite Coles. If you didn't already know, that is Ghostface Killah's son. Is this part of a rollout? Or is this really trying to reconnect with his father? Jay Electronica has brand new music. Is the mystique from Jay Electronica gone? We had to talk about it and talk about the infrequency in which he releases music, and has that deterred parts of his career? Once again, this is episode number 454 of the New Old Heads podcast. We are in your phone right now. Rest in peace, DJ 2 Deep.
You are now listening to the New Old Heads podcast. Our official 1-hour episode is released every Saturday at noon Eastern, but we share the exclusive uncut 2-hour episode to our Patreon members early every Wednesday. The show is brought to you by Coleman Dental, Indie CD and Vinyl, and Bringing Down the Band, and most importantly, you. Support the show directly by becoming a member at patreon.com/newoldheads, where we embrace the new, respect the old, and remain ahead.
You're now tuned in to the New Old Heads podcast. I am Major 7th. The brothers are in the building. Starting off with my man Jay Moore. How are you, good sir?
Doing well. You know the vibes. Peace, free speech, and reparations. Let's get it.
My man, I like that. My man Lonegevity represent blackness over there in the pilot seat. How are you, sir?
Freedom and reparations, man.
It would make more sense if you could see a shirt.
Yeah. But
or if you listen to Little Brother. You know.
Either or. But yeah, we're going to talk about it. You see a little bit right there. My man DJ Jay Diff. What's happening, man?
Salutations.
How are you, good sir?
I am here in the flesh.
We got a special guest in the building, man. Someone that I've known for a while. I met through Lone, actually. And this brother is a famed host, digital artist. He says, a MC that's pretty much done performing at this point, but he's also a poet as well. My man Tony Styxx is in the building. How are you, my brother?
I'm Gucci, brother. I feel great. I'm glad y'all had me on the show. Thank you.
I'm glad you're here, man. I'm glad you're here. I see a lot of the things that you're doing, and you seem to always be in the right place at the right time, representing properly. How about that?
I appreciate that. I like to think so.
Yeah. This brother's sharp, man. He does a lot of cool things here in the city. Definitely someone that you should look for and look forward to. We'll just say that.
Gotcha. That boy good.
That boy good. At the end of the day, that boy good. Shout out to my man Gobo in the building, aka the champ, beat battle champ. Don't get it twisted. He will roast you if you try to get at him. All right, so will Kanye's cries in his new doc change how we look at him moving forward? Now, let's discuss the latest Ye moment. Now, this is something that popped up on YouTube, and I want to discuss whether this changes our understanding of Kanye's public persona and the pressures that are faced with celebrities. Now, I've always thought that the public has had an interest in celebrity breakdowns, right? Something we see, here and there. Is this real vulnerability, or is it calculated? Is this a move that's just to fit the Ye narrative? This could happen, especially dealing with him. Now, we have a video. We're going to play the video.
I would rather be dead, not in jail, because I'd rather be dead than to be on medication. No one from the family has taken any responsibility for my hospital visit, but if we were to go online, that's 50% of what people say at least. Or maybe, am I lying?
It doesn't matter.
Am I lying? It do matter! It does matter! It does matter!
What are you worried? You just said you don't...
I haven't finished the sentence.
It does matter!
It matters to us and you. It doesn't matter what the internet says. It matters what we think. Yay.
So what do you think? Did you have an effect on my mental health?
Yes. I'm saying yes. And I love you. I love you. I don't want you to be not perfect. I love you. And I want my daughter to love you the way you want her to love you.
So, gentlemen, I will
Scream on him.
Scream on him, 100%. So I will pose a question. Does this raw footage humanize Kanye or further solidify his, the erratic image that he is portrayed or cultivated? Tony, I'm coming to you first. What do you see when you see that clip?
Man, that was heavy.
Yes, I agree.
I don't think it humanizes him, because I don't think anything he's ever done has dehumanized him. I think this is an individual who has held up a mask for so long, and we're starting to see real slips and real cracks. I think Kanye West has always been on the verge of really having a huge blow up moment. I mean, as a person who lost his mother, that does something to you. And for anybody out there who would feel this way, it's not an excuse. This is an explanation. It does something to you. I'll keep it short and I'll use this example. If you play a quick synopsis of the story of Anakin Skywalker and you play it with certain tracks in order from the beginning of Kanye West's career to the very, I would say to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, in that bracket, those stories line up. And to use that example, Anakin had a lot of those moments where you couldn't tell if it was from manipulation, you couldn't tell if it was from the pressure, or you couldn't tell if it was actually him. He was a little boy who lost his mom at a very young age and had to go on to be something great. Everyone kept calling him great. Pressure comes with that. I didn't experience that, but he did. And Kanye West has never really sat down long enough to deal with that. I believe that that response is real. I believe that that blow up was real. I don't believe that anybody expected it from him. I don't know if her response is real. And that's not to discredit her, because I know how people feel about the Kardashians, but I don't know if her response is real. But I think Kanye West is on the verge of having one of those really big explosive moments. And we're going to really see what years of that damage repressed with women and fashion and attempts at music, because let's be honest, he ain't hit since he ain't hit. And all of that is going to boil and poof, and that was the first sign of bubble. That's the realest outburst I've seen from him that didn't feel curated. That was uncomfortable for me to watch. And I watched all the clips of Kanye snapping. That one felt real.
100% authentic.
I think it's par for the course with Ye, man. And this is coming from somebody that has rocked with Ye since the beginning and had to, you know what I'm saying, kind of wash my hands of how he's been here lately. You know what I'm saying? Even before just more recently. But yeah, as a whole, it's just
years of antics.
Exactly. He's been the same individual. This is just in a setting where the people around him feel a lot more uncomfortable, I think, than a lot of the yes men and things like that have been around him. They have a celebrity as well, so they're responding differently, and they're responding. You can tell she has some fear in her voice because of how he was acting. But this isn't the first time or the last time that Ye has blown up. Remember when he was running for president?
Yeah.
And he had that little ordeal when he was talking about I almost aborted my daughter and all of that. I mean, this is Kanye, and this is the mental situation that he's going through, which he was prescribed medicine for, and it's evident. And that's not an excuse either. Excuse me, but I agree with you as far as the whole losing the mother thing changed you. And we've even had that discussion on the show about Ye, how he hasn't properly grieved that situation
at all,
especially being the type of celebrity that he is. But I don't think this makes him any different than what everybody already views him as. Now, people that are still fanboys for Kanye are gonna love this. People that don't rock with him are gonna watch it still.
Yeah.
They may not pay to watch it, but they're still gonna check it out.
Yeah.
I know us on the show whenever it drops, I'm sure we'll see it, some of it, because it's something to talk about.
I'm surprised it hasn't become a GIF yet. Surprised no one's memed this yet.
Somebody probably did. I mean,
it's probably
you
on
can
the way.
meme whatever is sent to you. I just made a little GIF off of something somebody sent to me that quick on my phone, but it's Kanye at the end of the day, man. Whether you want to call him Ye, Kanye West.
You don't think those are different people?
I mean,
Good question.
I wouldn't say it's different people. It's different days of the week. You know what I'm saying? It's just how he feels.
For Ye, for Yeezy, for whatever he wants to call himself after that, yes. But all of them, no, I think mentally, all of them and Kanye West are two totally different people.
I mean, it's like a split situation.
Yes, but way more literal. I'm not even being funny, like not to go deep or nothing like that, because it's not that kind of party.
I mean, it makes sense.
I experienced the same thing. Like Tony Styxx when you knew me versus it just being a name now are two real things. Those are two totally different people.
Sure.
That's a mental psyche that I had to address during COVID. So I think in my own opinion, Kanye West is experiencing that moment. There's scratches of Kanye clawing at that wall. And that was one of those, I saw the presidential blow up.
Yeah.
I believe his words, but that felt more like an opportunity, whereas this felt like what that was uncomfortable to
I agree
watch.
with that.
I agree with it to a certain extent because he knew that the camera's rolling. I believe
That's
he's actually putting this documentary out. I think this is his.
Do we know how long ago this clip was from?
I would give it.
I'm just curious. Like, is this
I don't
new
know.
or is this documentary last
No, it's not new
decade
because
or
he hasn't been with Kim
for a minute.
What, 7 years maybe?
It's been a while. That's what I
been
mean.
a while. So I mean, this
is all. So I'm under the impression. This is my first time seeing this.
Me too.
Right.
So I'm under the impression that this was new.
No, we got to think about
It's a
it.
new
like,
documentary.
They you know, remember he's married a whole nother random
Two
woman, you know, in the time since Kris Jenner would care anything about being perfect for
his daughter. Okay, okay.
Her daughter. So you got. I'm looking at this is probably it may be 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know. You know, the pandemic has blurred so many things as far as my timeline is concerned. When I'm watching this, you know, the thing with Kanye is I know that the cameras are there on his behest. You know, he knows that they're there. Do I think this is partially his mental health? Do I think it's partially his unresolved grief? Yes, but I also think this is partially performative because he knows the cameras are there. He has final edit, you know, so because if he didn't want this out, it wouldn't be out.
It wouldn't be out. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just so hard because Kanye is so far gone in my mind. But at the same time, I have to be respectful of understanding that mental health and unaddressed and untreated mental health is a real thing. But, you know, at the same time, I know that when you are the person, this wouldn't be out if Kanye didn't want it out.
It's like crying on live.
Yeah. You know, and then it's like you know, you didn't have to go, like if you wanted to grieve or you wanted to scream and yell at your in-laws, you knew the camera was there, and knowing that you controlled the footage, you know, that is almost like, hey, look what these people are doing to me. You know, so I'm not saying that the moment wasn't real, but I'm also have to acknowledge that he wanted us to see this moment. So maybe we would give him a break on some of the other goofy shit he's been doing.
And it's after the fact. And because of both Terry and Jay Moore's point, I still stand on how I feel about Kanye's psyche. But to answer the question more direct now, do I think it gives more of a humanity to Ye? Is it his buy-in back in with people? No, I don't think so. I think he's done so much damage in the name of his grief that seeing this in the aftermath isn't enough to have empathy for Ye. Because it's almost like there's two things. One, for people who do need the medication so that they can be better for the people around them, you're making it, you know, you're damaging the image of that. It's kind of hard for me to figure out what I want to say.
I understand what you're saying.
Good,
yeah, but then with the second part of that, it's like, that's a manipulation tactic. How can I have empathy for you when you're putting something that's years at, like Jay Morris, it's years out of context. Now you want us to see it, and it's kind of like, what all you've done, now what? What do you want us to say?
He's also put some other stuff in this documentary too, because I seen a whole nother clip.
Yeah.
The one with Michael Che.
Not even that one. There's another clip where I want to say it's during the recording of Donda. Mind you, that album was supposed to be no cuss words, no more uplifting.
Yeah.
Even that's the reason why Andre 3000's verse wasn't initially on there, because it had some issues as far as Kanye agreeing with some of the words that he used.
Yeah.
So this is during that recording session, and I want to say it's a song with Pusha T and maybe Cardi on there, and he was mad at their verses because he said, I don't want that, pretty much that righteous BLM type message on my music. I want y'all to talk about killing niggas and bitches. This is supposed to be on Donda. He's having this conversation with them during the recording. He said, because that Black Lives Matter shit, I would rather, what did he say? Something about rather die than support, something like that, or something of that nature. Don't quote me on that. But
It's
it was
out there.
he included that in the documentary too. So to your point, as far as his different psyches, I believe he is giving you different parts of him in this documentary to let you know that, okay, you can view me as human and you can view me as a piece of shit. I mean, he came out the gate saying I'm an asshole. So we already know how he feels about that. But in the same token, other people, to your point, when you said that, it made me kind of think. Jadakiss said that he's not met the same Kanye twice. think it was Jada that said
That's
that.
real.
You know,
that's
what I'm
real.
saying? So I mean, this is the thing that comes with this entertainment and this position in entertainment that he has, and him having something mentally imbalanced with himself.
It's not like Eminem where there's a sober version and then there's the one that was manic that made the world go crazy. This is an individual who has literally taken on at least 3, if not 4 that I can count, full-blown personas. Like, he puts Christian Bale to shame. If he's a method actor, he's out there cooking.
Yeah.
Because if you look, it's not just in the music. It's in the way he raises his kids. It's in the way that he responds to the women he's dating. It's in the way that he handles business. It's in the way he does his documentaries. Everything it's drowned in that. And then when he's done with it, a new persona shows up and it's full throttle. He never eases us into it. There's no big press release. It just is. Much like Split.
Yeah, I agree.
He rolls his eyes and a new person shows up and he's talking to you. Because imagine the person who said, what was that song? Heard Him Say. You did Heard Him Say with Adam Levine. But now, years later, I don't want none of that Black Lives Matter shit. That is not, and I'm not just talking about his political views have changed. Mm-hmm. No, because of the effect that he had on the world and the effect that he has now, it's equal, but it is not from the same person.
Nah.
Not at all.
I've always said the person that did, spaceships and crack music is long gone.
Yeah,
gone.
He's been gone.
Like that person,
he got on that spaceship.
He would never say, I don't know, because the political landscape is so muddied, but like this, he would never say anything bad about Ronald Reagan now.
Never.
He said Trump was like his dad.
That's probably,
and his dad is alive.
That's when I stepped all the way off. Because I'm like, isn't your father still alive?
Cancer? George Bush got the answer. He would never say that.
He would never say that now. No. So I like I said, I mean, we talk about him being humanized through whatever this is.
Mm-hmm.
I think because he's so flawed and he is so contradictory, that is more human than anything than anything.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't give him a pass. I can't act like I didn't hear him say what he said about Harriet Tubman. I can't act like he's try to make some money off White Lives Matter t-shirts. This is not whatever I've seen in this documentary.
Hail Hitler song.
This is not going to help me. Oh yeah.
You ain't heard the Hail Hitler?
Yeah, man.
That's a real thing.
Yeah, he's been gone for a minute, man.
Yeah.
That's why. So this has, now that I know that this documentary is most likely mostly old stuff.
Yeah.
And I know that this was Kris Jenner, and this happened at least probably 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago.
Probably not that long, but
I wouldn't say that long. Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
It's
I mean, everything that he's done.
She don't have that ass anymore.
Everything that he's done post 2016, I'm not interested in him at all. So if it's within that
bracket
block period of time, it doesn't matter. He's a narcissist, man. He's a narcissist that has mental issues, that needs help, and I don't say that lightly. He needs it, and he's in the public persona, and he chooses to continue to be in the public persona to some degree. Sure, he's a celebrity, but no, man, this, I don't feel any different today. I mean, when I looked at that video, yes, I didn't feel any type of acting. I think to me, that was a maybe it was, I don't know. Maybe it was a camera moment. It didn't feel like it to me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it doesn't matter because of everything else that he's done, and everything he's done since then, he continues to just be this really horrible person. And I'm cool.
To anyone who didn't get my references, honest to God, last thing I'm going to say about it, go to Disney Plus, look up the Ben Kenobi series, go to the very last episode, and this explains Kanye West perfectly. There's a scene where Ben Kenobi is in front of Darth Vader. He's just defeated him in a bout. And he says, "I'm sorry, Anakin, I failed you." And Anakin says to him, while he's still Anakin in his mind, he's in Darth Vader's uniform, mind you. Yeah. And he says, you were not I'm not your failure, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You didn't kill me. You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I did.
Mm-hmm.
That's Kanye West would say that to a Jay-Z. You didn't kill Kanye West. Ye did. Easy did. That's the reference. So if you're a Star Wars fan and that makes sense to you, if you're not, go watch that episode and you'll understand what I mean when I say that's not the same guy.
The only difference with that situation, that's a good analogy, is that people actually revered Darth Vader as like one of the best villains of all time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna be a villain, you got to be a good villain.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, with Kanye, he's not being a good villain. He's picking the wrong shit from the wrong people to create this new guy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work in a Darth Vader type of situation.
No comparison as far as greatness is concerned.
Well, look, I've said on this show before that, at one point we thought that Kanye was going to be the one that brings balance to the Force, because he was the one where we were getting to hear Dilated Peoples on the radio. We were getting to hear Slum Village on the radio. He was helping to bring that back, and we didn't realize, Darth Vader was waiting around the corner the whole time.
No one man should have all that power.
Yeah. I would give him Kylo. I would give him Kylo Ren before I would give him Darth Vader.
Oh Lord,
because the crying.
Yeah, I would definitely.
Everything.
He can't be Darth because I actually respect Darth Vader. You know what I'm saying? And this is coming from somebody like. It pains me to have to talk about Kanye. Like
I know
this,
it
man.
does.
He said I actually respect.
But he's more Kylo Ren than Darth Vader.
Perpetual child, just throwing. He's definitely more Kylo now. That like I said, it stopped at My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. That to me was Kanye's suicide note.
Oh,
Runaway was.
I think the cool thing about this conversation is we are all of age to have seen these chapters.
Yeah,
because a lot of people can watch YouTube or do their research that are younger.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. Like they can be thrown off. It's like, oh, this is the guy that has he always done this? No, there are 5 chapters that you all missed, and we were outside. I guess I can't say lucky enough, but we saw all of them. We saw all the changes, all the pivots, all the shifts, and
College Dropout was literally damn near. If I rap, would have been my life story.
Yeah,
like the shit that he was talking about on there was little things I was going through.
The timing of this documentary that's being released, right? Is this would you say this is a cry for help, a performance, complex blend of both? Is this where do we draw the line between, I think I know where we draw the line, but where do we draw the line between, genuine struggle that somebody goes through and public manipulation, if you will?
We have to look at this as public manipulation, because if we don't, there's 2 types of artists out there that will be affected. There'll be artists out there that were waiting for an opportunity like this to manipulate the masses, and they will use this as an example. And then there are artists who really do have recoveries that come out of the shit that they were during the time of their career, and they become better, and we get to see that.
Yeah.
Kanye West releasing this, like Terry pointed out so well, like Jay Moore pointed out so well, like you pointed out so well, there's so much that happened after that. How could we possibly forgive? How could we possibly have empathy? The champion of Black lives. The champion of Black lives. This, like he said, this man was supposed to balance the force. Is selling, and profiting off of White Lives Matter shirts. You're wearing the red hat willingly. You're purposely having these moments. You're creating these opportunities. You became the thing. Kanye West is everything that Lupe Fiasco talked about in The Cool. He's Michael Young history. And Donald Trump is the game. And the world wants to treat Kim Kardashian like she was the keys to the street. You go back and play The Cool, and that's Kanye West's fault. We can't give him that pass. Like Jay Moore said, you get no pass.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
No. But the world has to look at it like that, or he will continue. Celebrities are no different than what was that show, American Gods? Orlando Jones was fired from it.
because he's for keeping it a little too real.
Okay, so new celebrities work like that. Drake was one of the new gods until a new one showed up, or until he evolved to his God form and set that boy back down. Kanye West is one that feeds off of attention.
Sure.
He needs it. If we give him this one, he'll cement his immortality.
Because he's a narcissist.
Yes.
I think it is more of the other side. I 100% believe that there are people out there that will be able to, distinguish, right? Mm-hmm. But I would say the masses are going to
give him a pass.
It's going to give him a pass, but it's pumping him up. It's going to charge him up even more, because there are so many people that are so far gone. You can't tell them anything about them, and I don't think this excerpt from the documentary or whatever is going to be powerful enough to change any of that.
I don't either.
Is there anything that can at this point?
Well, if he drops a very good album and a nice pair of shoes and does something creative as far as something that people can actually enjoy, they'll forget all of that shit.
I think it depends who it is.
Consumerism, man.
I don't think will anybody at this table
No.
No, it's not going to
Like,
change.
I
You
did one time. It's when he dropped.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm still
all day. He dropped all day, and I thought, yo, Ye is back, and I was almost ready to forgive him.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
I was
No,
one of them.
I'm not here until there's a completely pivot from and an apology for the white nationalism.
You're not going to see
That's
that.
what I'm saying. So when I
don't
say
think
he
you
has to
should.
drop a dope album, meaning he has to address the elephant in the room
Yeah.
and all of these stages that he's
Music
been
ain't
through.
enough, though.
Also,
It is. Let me finish. He has to address everything that he's been through and put it together in a package that pretty much said an apology, so to speak. Now, you might not forgive him for it,
Nah,
but other people will be like, all right, man, I kind of feel you, but I might want to give him some time to see if he's going to
it's
stick
not
in
enough. It's a start because he broke it with music. He would have to start it with music, and it would have
that.
to
This is
carry
the
in
thing.
everything
It's
else
enough in the world that we live in
to
today.
make them forget. Yes,
It's
absolutely.
enough. That's all he has to
Absolutely.
do.
But this
I
is
see
the
what you're
thing.
saying.
There's been so much damage that's been done because there are some people who only know shoe selling white nationalist Kanye, and that's
Yeah.
or Ye.
That's a lot of
their
people.
person. If you played them crack music or spaceships,
Same person.
or they'd be like, "What is this bullshit?"
Man, if,
You know,
if
this
he
is not-
reverts back.
This is not who they even know.
Mhm.
I guess my question would be to Terry as in rebuttal would be someone that is, I would list you as the biggest former Kanye West fan of all of us here. Just for the guys. I'm not going to front with you, Tony. I ain't going to quote
No,
you.
you good. You good.
But
He definitely is.
do you have the faith in everything that you just said that he can execute this? Because I don't.
I don't. This is just me shooting something in
I
there
got you. I
in
got
the
you.
wind. I don't think he's going to do that
Okay.
because Kanye is the type. He's just like Dame. Just like how Dame cannot admit when he's wrong and how he's broke and this, that, and the other. Kanye is the same type of dude. He just has way more money than him. So he can make a whole bunch of bad decisions
Yes.
and it's not going to affect him and his quality of life. This doesn't mean shit to him. Him being a celebrity anymore, honestly, all it's doing is feeding his ego. But he doesn't need this shit anymore. If he had a for real come to God moment where it wasn't just I'm gonna parade around for Christ, but since I'm not getting exactly what I want, I'm pretty much going to denounce that whole Ye situation and move on.
Yep.
If he actually goes through a situation where he recognizes the faults in himself and understands that and is able to articulate it on an album or in public, people are going to give him his peas back. Guarantee you. It doesn't matter. Like, we may not, but we are a small pebble.
I know what you mean. You're
in
talking
the
about the
river.
general public.
Yeah.
I think it depends on who we're saying the general public is, right? So it's too hard to like have the conversation about people. That's why I don't like talking about people, because people are just, it could be anybody, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I feel like some people obviously are going to listen to the music and be like, okay, yeah, whatever. But we're also in a place, an interesting place politically, just the way the world works in the United States right now, to where facts and none of that stuff matters anymore. Like, I'm more so interested in the people in general that that he has affected, that we have followed
Mhm.
Yeah.
through this entire point. I don't think us in general are ever going to really, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm just so over him in that particular way. And I find it
It's
hard.
understandable.
I find it hard to believe that anybody that has those same type of morals and shit, that they can be persuaded by an album to all of a sudden just be like, you know what? Like, you're right. You were going through stuff. We know he was going through stuff. We know he
Right.
has mental issues. We know he's a narcissist.
He parades it.
We know that he was doing all these things. We know that he did it anyways.
Yeah.
And it would take a lot for me specifically. It would take
Yeah.
a lot for me to look at Ye and to say, yeah, he's a changed person. And another piece behind this is because he has health issues. Right. And so that's another piece of this, like, whether we want to like admit it or however we want to talk about this, like, how much can somebody that has these deep underlying mental health issues really change?
Right.
That's a whole nother conversation.
You can probably turn it down, but you can't turn it off at this point.
So then it becomes more of a conversation around empathy and sympathy, right? The whole thing with Charlie
Yeah.
Kirk and stuff,
Yeah.
like, but
Yeah.
it's like, could I potentially at one point in time, depending on how Ye responds to all this in the future, could I potentially have empathy for him again? Sure, probably. Does that mean that I'm going to
totally forget
jump
all
out the side, probably not.
With
Probably
that being said,
Yeah.
you made me think about something that I didn't really consider until you said what you just said about Charlie Kirk. If or when Ye passes, the celebration of his life that would have happened before, gone.
No, it's not.
You don't think so?
No,
So-
because you have people.
I don't know.
People listen when somebody dies, and we see this a lot in music.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you rock with him or you didn't. You could have never listened to him. Same thing with Charlie Kirk. There's a lot of people that didn't know who he was till he died.
Mm-hmm.
People are going to rock with you off the strength as they want to be involved in part of that particular moment. It's not going to matter what he.
No,
did.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I guess what I'm saying is more of, because I agree with that. I guess what I'm saying is more of, I don't know, it's like the overall feeling. Like, imagine if Michael Jackson would have went down as a murderer.
Mm-hmm.
The world would still revere him, sure. But because we know he's a murderer,
It's not going to hit the same.
it's not going to hit the
Man,
same.
murder is different.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah, but
I
look,
see- but I see
you
what
see
you're
I'm
doing,
saying.
though.
I'm
no,
just-
it's
yeah.
the same way. When O.J. Simpson died,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't talk about his 2,000-yard season.
No.
A lot of times what happens
That
when people
legacy's
die,
tarnished.
when people die, especially if they're in the public space,
Mhm.
we wind up finding out how a lot of people really felt about him.
Yeah.
Like when Hulk Hogan died.
Man.
Now there are some people that who were like, oh, well, he did go to the children's hospitals, and I remember he told me to say my prayers and eat my vitamins. If you think about what somebody is up to a certain point, but then there becomes the totality of their life, and a lot of the things that Hulk Hogan did that were very questionable happened at the end of his life. If I didn't know anything about Hulk Hogan past, like, say, 1993, then I'd have been like, oh man, it's messed up. Hulk Hogan died.
Right.
But even if I take away all the racist stuff and he says, oh, well, that was this, that, and the third, but then I also know how he made The Undertaker feel. And The Undertaker's my favorite wrestler. So there's going to be that group of people who feel a certain way.
Yeah.
But think about it. Who died that same week? Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what? People weren't on his head because Ozzy Osbourne had pretty much, other than, if you take into account, his substance abuse, he seemed to always treat his family well. The people who even sampled his records said he was cool about it. He was always a nice person. You didn't hear all this vitriol, if you will, about Ozzy Osbourne. This is a dude who bit the head off a bat and got arrested a bunch of times. But you know what? At the end of his life, when it was time to take accounting and people spoke about him, you didn't hear anybody say anything crazy about Ozzy Osbourne.
Right.
So I think there are going to be people who come from different parts of the Ye, Kanye, Yeezus experience. They'll be like, there's some people who will be like, I love the shoes. And that's going to be the totality of what they think about him. There's some people who are going to be like, I loved his first 4 or 5 albums. But there are going to be some people who come out and say, I loved what he said about Harriet Tubman and the White Lives Matter t-shirts.
Yep.
So,
And I think that group
And
is
being a free thinker.
yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I meant by it's
There you
tarnished
go.
now, because you have a certain you have a weight of opinion now. Sorry, you have a weight of opinion now that goes with that legacy that wasn't supposed to. Can't say wasn't supposed to be there, but it wasn't the way it was going to look at the beginning. Again,
No,
this is
it's
a
not.
guy that made college dropout, late
Yeah.
registration. He was a guy that took on 50 Cent and won. Do you remember
Yeah.
when 50 Cent,
I
jokingly or not, stated that I would retire if Kanye West's Graduation outsold my next album? And not only did he outsell it, he left it in the dust.
Facts.
Kanye was he was an icon.
And Curtis still went platinum.
And that shows
That's
you how
the-
much he
That's
smoked.
just great. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
now this guy is the same guy who will be remembered by me for that, but in the same breath, I love that red hat that he supported. And it's like, that's a tarnished memory to me.
Yeah, but he, in the same token, he picked up some other fans from that. So like he lost some and he picked up some.
And
So-
it just boils down to, which side. And I'm just a firm believer of the other side, whatever you want to call it, being larger.
Yeah.
I just believe that in the world that we're in now, how things are consumed and how people feel about
Yeah,
things.
that ugly
and-
side of his legacy is much larger now.
yeah, I just think that part is going to always supersede what we saw. That's just
It's sad.
And at this
Unfortunately,
point, we've been
yeah.
dealing with it for a lot longer than the other part of Kanye's
Yeah.
career that we've been dealing with this for a better part of a decade now,
yeah.
if
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
longer.
Because he showed up and fizzled out. It was Stone Cold Steve Austin's run.
But what's crazy is
Oh,
we're
that's a good
talking
one.
from people that are like former supporters of his, and there's still people that are supporting the new stuff that comes out.
True.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
yeah, there's a lot of ways to come at it.
Yeah.
Hey, he's always been polarizing, and that's continuing in 2025, leading into this
Is he
documentary.
bipolar?
Continue. Yeah, he's a few different things. Yeah.
I see what you. Yeah, I see what you did.
Manic
there.
depressive bipolar. Like I said, I mean, unfortunately, I've had
That's a bar.
too much personal experience with this sort of thing. But you know, it's just still too much of it to where I feel like, where is the performance and the mental health? Where are they passing each other in the night?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, this documentary, I believe, was released on the 19th in theaters
so it's
only.
already out.
In theaters only. I'm not sure what the streaming is going to look like, but
Okay.
to Terry's point earlier, you know, this is what we do. So
You'll probably have to buy like a Yeezus branded TV or something. He's probably got something up his sleeve. Like when he tried to put out that mini player.
Yeah,
I put it out. I know a couple people that had it.
Oh yeah, me too.
What?
Yeah. The stems?
Yeah,
The
it
stem
came
player?
out. Yeah, it came out. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like $200 or something.
Oh wait, I remember that. It came out with the album, didn't it? The Donda album. I remember that. Yeah.
When my boys always got it, I said, bless your heart.
Thanks to our partners. Dr. Coleman of Coleman Dental is our go-to dentist. He's a longtime Indianapolis arts and music supporter located right in Broad Ripple. Our good friends at Indie CD and Vinyl operate one of the best record stores in North America. Shop new and used in their site or visit them in person. And the best way to support the New Old Heads is to visit our Patreon and become a member. All details on newoldheads.com.
So, some new music from Ghostface Killah's son, Infinite Coles, puts a spotlight on the complexities of the father-son relationship as it relates to hip-hop. Now, we're going to explore whether this is a genuine cry for a connection or if this is just a calculated career move. Now, watching the family dynamics play out in the public eye, especially in hip-hop, has always been interesting to me personally. That's just stuff that's always put out. Some would say that this situation reflects a recurring pattern we see with children of industry giants. We've all seen them grow up. But Infinite Coles has released 2 records. One is called Sweetface Killah, and the other is called Dad and I. And these are addressing the relationship with his father. Now, one track takes a more of a confrontational approach, and the other seeks reconciliation and more of a understanding, right? So I want to ask you gentlemen off top. We're going to jump right in and see what you think about it. Is Infinite justified in airing out his family issues publicly through his music, or is this a breach of privacy that could damage both of their careers? Now, Pops is coming off Supreme Clientele 2.
Fire.
Okay. I don't agree, but I'm with you. But what do you think about this? Tony, I'm going to come right back to you. I'm going to come to you first again, bro, in terms of, and have you heard these 2 records?
I haven't heard either. I actually didn't know that Ghostface had a son named Infinite Coles. That's a fire name.
It is a
that
fire
name is hard. But I haven't heard the record. But do I believe that the children of the industry giants have a right to make, whatever kind of music they want? Yeah, music's music. I feel like if you're gonna be brave enough to put the music out, be brave enough to have the conversation that comes after that.
There we go.
I also feel like the record should be played for the parent before it's released to the public. Shout out to my man Jason Bain. He just wrote a record about his pops, and he played it for his pops. I was there the day that I left. He got on the phone when his pops would play it for him before he actually released the record. Because music is freedom of it's part of freedom of speech. It's an expression. It's like if I painted something about my father that was true, or if I painted something about my mother that was true or traumatic, whatever it is. But having that conversation with them first. Now, there's a relationship between Ghostface Killah and Infinite Coles where they don't talk. Then no, you don't have to play this for them. They'll hear it when they hear it. But do I think he has the right to? Absolutely. Just be okay with what comes after that. Don't cry wolf now that you don't put the record out and there's repercussions. Like, Ghostface is a phenomenal MC. I think we can all agree. If he decides to respond and I squish your 15 minutes of fame to 15 seconds, deal with that. Because this could have been a conversation instead of a record. But now that you'd have made it a record and it would probably come off as a diss record, I have the right to respond. Be okay with whatever comes
There's
after
other context that's important here.
Jumping along,
That's
I'm
fair.
sorry.
That's fair.
The other context is his son is queer, and allegedly Ghostface has disowned his son for being queer.
Right.
And they apparently have not had, again, allegedly. I don't know what's in between.
For sure.
Apparently, what's Cole's name?
Infinite. Oh.
Yeah. So apparently, Infinite Cole doesn't have ill will towards Ghostface.
Yeah.
So and wants to reconcile this relationship with with Ghost, but at the same time, like, not in there. It's been 10 years since they've talked. There's this
10?
yeah. So there's this weird, I mean, look, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So I think that adds another layer to the dynamic of their relationship that I think is important in exploring here. Cause it's not just like, oh man, I haven't seen my dad in a while. It's like, no, my dad is not in my life.
So this is me talking to my dad. It could be looked at as that, and I would like to look at it that way. Then I'm meeting you where you're at.
Yeah.
You know, you can't meet me where I'm at. Maybe if I step into your world and try to explain it to you this way, maybe you'll hear me out. And I like that idea.
Sure.
Again, maybe try to see if you could get it to him first. Pass somebody a flash drive, hand it to his hand, like, hey, you see my pops? Tell him to play this. Just ask him to listen to it.
Sure.
Just first minute if he has to. But if you can't get to him, I mean, a decade, put the record out. Put the record out. Yeah.
I'm not gonna hold you. I got a chance to listen to the records, and
Sweetface Killah is offensive though. Like, we got to run the ones about that one.
Run the ones.
He might be talking about himself being the Sweetface Killah though in that situation though.
Good point.
But
2 points to Gryffindor.
even just watching the video, you watch its Instagram clip, and then obviously when it was released, you can go watch it.
Yeah.
You can hear someone that is clearly frustrated with the relationship. And
I'm checking this out tonight.
There's some stuff that's brought up where I was like, oh, he's not hiding anything. Like, it's just straight to the point. This is how I felt. This is how I've always felt. You didn't like this. You didn't like that. So, I mean, it's definitely an open book from what I heard. Now, y'all can make your own opinion about it. But
am I cynical for thinking, okay, this is a rollout because his father just put out a record?
No, I don't think it's cynical at all. No.
You know, I'm sorry. I'm just in that place where
I don't know, man.
I see,
I absolutely
regardless of the core issue, I do see there to be opportunism at place here.
Yeah.
You know, and if you are trying to put out music, then being an opportunist isn't the worst thing in the world.
So you're leaning more towards rollout based versus reconciliation. Is that fair to say? Just how it looked, like just for what it is.
That's just what I listen to, not the Sweetface Killah. Because when I listen to the records, you know, regardless of the subject matter, I can listen to the technical proficiency of the emceeing.
Yeah.
Okay. And so they are doing well in that
respect.
In that respect. But I'm sorry, I'm just cynical in that way. It's like, okay, you know, Ghostface is may not be a huge part of the algorithm, but a part of it nonetheless.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, he's done a lot of press and a lot of sit down with folks. And so when people Google or do whatever they do when it's time to look up something on YouTube, you know, this is going to be a part of the search results.
Yeah.
So I can see this as, okay, yes, I want reconciliation. This is where, like you said, meeting Ghost where he's at as far as being able to speak with him, since we have not had a relationship in 10 years.
Yeah. That's a long time.
You know, two things can be correct at the same time. I also see this as being opportunistic on Infinite Coles' behalf, you know, so
that's
it is what it is. You know, I'm not mad at it. I'm just saying that it can be that.
Yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards, honestly, because like you gave the example of Jason Bane and his pops and their situation, and possibly, you know, sending this to pops before I put it out. This particular situation, which is unique, is his dad is Ghostface Killah.
Yeah.
He's a celebrity. Obviously his son's trying to be a celebrity as well.
Absolutely.
He's going to use this in his advantage, but he still may
be very sincere.
Yeah, he might be sincere with it, but he definitely wants to use this as an opportunity to shine light to a situation.
Yeah.
And what better time than now? I rap too. I'm a musician. I'm going to use this, and it may awaken a response out of Ghost. It may not, but people know that I'm his son now because I dropped this song.
I have that notoriety.
And also, I feel like Ghost is kind of, you said you listened to the album, so there's a couple skits on there where people are using like the word pause.
The pause skit,
and he's saying, I'm tired of having to, you know what I'm saying, explain why I'm having to, why I'm saying that you shouldn't have to say pause every time I say something. It's not necessary. It was a whole skit. There's more than one thing that he addressed on this album about people that might, you know what I'm saying, identify different.
Yes.
And it's different coming from Ghostface Killah. knowing who Ghostface Killah was and the slang and all of that and his content, I feel like that once this came out, I feel like that was kind of him maybe reaching back to his son a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I
he
didn't
may
think
not
about it
have
like that.
directed it towards him, like he may not have a conversation, but he knows his son is probably going to listen to this. He's going to see that my dad has kind of a different stance than he may have had before.
Yeah.
And he might be using that, okay, dad kind of said something.
Yeah.
I'm going to address it twice.
Yeah.
So this song might be considered a diss, and I'm addressing some things, and this song may be considered a reconciliation.
Yeah.
That's my kind of take on the situation.
And we don't, nobody in this room, not that I know of, you celebrities, might not know Ghostface Killah personally, but you know a man, right? And I think that Ghostface is one of those kind of individuals where his son, they might have already had the conversation. They might have already had that conversation, or he doesn't come off as unreasonable. You know what I mean? And their middle ground could be the music. You said something though that triggered a thought, and I just lost it. But yeah, that's Supreme Clientele too. There were a few opportunities, there were a few moments on the album where it was kind of like, he's still on this subject.
Yeah, he addressed it,
Yeah.
and it kind of piqued my interest a little bit because I was like, "This is different coming from Ghost."
Yeah, it was like
And now-
3 tracks in,
And now it's starting to make sense to me, based on of this situation.
they could be rolling out together. Who knows?
I'm gonna give you a piece because I remember that skit specifically on the project, and it does make sense when you break it down the way you just broke it down. It could have been just a quick little, we're gonna put this out in the atmosphere. This is the way I've been dealing with XYZ. I didn't even think about it like that.
You're just pretty much showing a little growth on that side of things that he may not have expressed to his son, or I don't know, because
Are there I'll put it out there for my Greeks, or for my geeks out there. Are there any other gods that are swung on Titans? Because I can't think of any. So you have Infinite Coals, not that he swung, but the question is pointed that these industry giants and the children that come from them. So
50 Cent's son has swung on him many a time.
Yeah, but he can't
I've
rap.
heard that.
He doesn't
Okay,
rap,
so that's
but
what
he
I'm talking
swings
about.
on him like from a distance.
I mean, I
but
guess
they're
I'm
jazz.
saying like they got in the ring with their parents. Like, are there any other?
No, I don't think so.
I think the only thing that
Could you imagine if Ice Cube's son decided to?
I mean, one of his sons, I'm not sure if it's O'Shea Jr., but I remember he had a son that went as, his stage name was Doughboy. And he's trying to get his rapping on. But I don't think, of course.
You don't think he went at his pops?
No, Ice Cube and his sons are like
great.
super close from what I've seen.
Tony, I've only heard comments. I'm not gonna say records because Infinite clearly is about that all the way out.
Yeah,
but
I've never heard him rap, or I've never heard them rap.
Right. But
I have a statement from Infinite Coals.
Go ahead, Long.
Says, I am proud and excited to announce my debut album. It is the culmination of my journey, and I can't wait to share it with the world. The track Sweetface Killah is an alter ego. It's me taking my ish and not being afraid to say the things that I want to say. I always wanted to rap and always did it as a joke with my friends, but I was always afraid. Sweetface Killah came from the trolls online making fun of me because of my dad. At first, I was depressed and embarrassed, but I took the name and made it mean something more than what they were using it for. Now I'm owning it because honestly, it's fab. They ate that. Dad and I is a message to my father. It's saying that even though I'm angry and hurt, I forgive you and love you. I want to thank all my incredible collaborators, Zach, Witness, blah, 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 blah.
Fire. Well said.
Well, do you think, and if this is a thing 20 years ago, and a rapper, I won't even say Ghostface Killah, we'll just say any prominent rapper, and their child, whether estranged or not, comes out as a part of the queer community, do you think that's something that we're like, okay, this is something we can pick at you about? Because right now, I don't think it's not like Ghost has a bunch of enemies, but it's not like somebody's going to be making punchlines, be like, saying something about Ghostface killing his gay, trans, queer son. I don't think those are going to be punchlines. Like, I think maybe if it was 25, 30 years ago.
The internet is worse now than it ever was, with more people with a voice ever.
Yeah.
The trolls
I guess I
are
didn't think about it like that.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I feel like kids would
maybe
be
not
off
in
limits.
person.
I feel like kids would be off limits because even when Jay did that verse and he brought up Nas, he didn't even necessarily say his child. He talked about the baby seat.
Yeah.
And people was like, hey, man, that was a little too far.
Good call.
So, I mean, there is morals and shit involved in the battle.
Engagement.
You know what I'm saying? You can't include people's
but Jay,
kids.
Remember what was that song? Was it Picasso Baby? something at the King. Niggas even talk about your baby crazy. Like people were making fun of Blue Ivy often. But that's more public than it is
type shit.
Okay, that's what you're saying.
One of Kanye West personalities that did that. And that was even Kanye said that bullshit after the fact that he had that verse.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I feel like kids and things of that nature are off the table when it comes to even a rap situation.
Ja Rule didn't leave Haley off the table.
Ja Rule was pulling at straws, man. He was dead.
He did still though.
Dead.
And he's talking about Eminem. Come on, man. He has nothing that he can say.
Kendrick didn't leave a kid off the table.
That was a respect. That was more of a conversation, in my personal opinion. He was not downgraded.
You a barber now? You're a barber now? We splitting hairs?
Nah, literally.
Pusha T didn't leave a kid off the table.
Well, he
named it after his kid.
He brought up the child.
That kid is not. You're engaged in war.
I'm saying as far as being,
but it's
defamatory.
Yeah, so it's like
whatever.
No, we're not. I'm saying as far as being defamatory towards a kid has not happened.
No,
this was more so since you brought up Drake. You had to bring up Drake.
I see what you're saying.
This is more so okay. We need to make sure that you're being a father to your child.
Yeah,
that was his situation. With Kendrick is writing a letter to Drake's son about his dad. He did not address his son.
He didn't say you got weird hair and you're ugly and your kid is a bitch. Like, that's different.
Okay, so like Lone said, being in front of a person, right? So you telling me you gonna let it slide if Drake is standing here, son there, Kendrick here, and he's talking to his son while his pops is standing there, which is basically the same thing. We letting it slide?
No, because his pops is not going to be there.
Don't do that. don't do that.
Did we establish this?
There was a sniper on the roof.
Yeah, there's definitely a sniper on the roof. Don't
White
do
male,
that.
6'2". Jesus.
No, that record was, man.
I hate having to keep bringing up.
I
Drake
know what you mean, though. I get what you're saying, especially to Jay Moore's question. Like nobody's really gonna aim at this person.
I don't feel like that people would do that because I'm sure. Matter of fact, I know this is the industry.
Yeah,
this is entertainment. A lot of these entertainers, rappers, I don't care what their profession is, a lot of them have kids that might be part of the alphabet community.
Yes.
And that other people in the industry know exactly who they are.
Hey,
you know,
keep my kid
even
name out
when
your
you
mouth.
bring up Magic Johnson, when people talk about Magic Johnson, they specifically aim at him and their jokes at him. They never really bring up his son.
His son, yeah.
Unless it's people talking about basketball. I was like, damn, he would have been a great basketball player.
Yes.
Jump in there, Lone.
He's got AIDS.
And when he got those A's.
Dun, dun,
But yeah, I
Don Sterling.
Yeah, I don't see people bringing kids into the situation when it comes to that. Because honestly, if somebody wanted to say something about Ghost, this has been known.
That's a good point. This isn't new.
Yeah, that's not new.
We've known he dropped the word back in the day. You know, like
easily.
It's not.
Yeah.
This is documented. I mean, I was over here reading, you know, the statement that Infinite Coles made 2 years ago about all this stuff and Ghost not replying to text messages and all this other stuff. And so it seems like Infinite is trying to grow as a person.
I'm going to be disappointed if I play this record and they are whack. I'm going to be very disappointed if they're whack because this name is too hard.
That name is fire. That name is fire.
I've heard. I didn't like sit and listen to the full record, but I have heard snippets of it, and they're not
whack.
They're not like whack. It's just, you know, it's got to be your cup of tea. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
I mean, he's from that lineage.
Yeah, no,
True.
for sure.
True.
Yeah, Jordan's kids were from his lineage.
Well,
so
it's different.
Yeah,
they got fried when they came.
Yeah, that's
Ric Flair's son was from his lineage. That's a horrible wrestler.
Cody Rhodes, though.
Hey,
talk
about it.
Hey.
Lineage.
Talk about it.
The Rock.
Talk about it.
Lineage.
I actually think Cody is a better wrestler than his pops was.
He is.
Dustin is a better wrestler than all three of them. Period.
All right, man. So Jay Electronica just dropped 4 projects in a single week. Now this, to me, is unprecedented, right?
It's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming. It is. We're going to talk about that. But from an artist who's been known more for his absence than his presence, we're going to dive deeper into...
More than Elzai?
Yes.
Oh, who you going to open
Absolutely.
up?
Absolutely.
We're going to dive deeper into these releases. Now, I'm a person on this show who has criticized Jay a lot. They know that. I'll admit, even I was caught off guard by the recent move. I'm not going to hold you. This kind of caught me off guard with him dropping all this music at once. However, did the success of Exhibit A and C set the bar too high for Jay? Or does he still have the mystique that he once had? Because for me, I look at those two records as those two records.
Mm-hmm.
They still sound the same as they did when they came out.
Yeah.
When I think about him, I automatically go to those two records. I know he's been on YouTube forever. I've heard all the freestyles. I get it. He nice. But those are the two records I'm attached to.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
So when he just drops all of this music, is that mystique gone, or did he max out with those two joints? I'm just curious to see what y'all think.
Subject matter wise, when he dropped those two tracks, it was a breath of fresh air, especially for that time of where hip hop was at.
Right.
He did kind of set the bar high for himself, but he held himself back. So I don't think that it's a situation to where he set the bar too high and couldn't reach it. He just stopped. To your point, you're talking about those two records set the bar for him.
Mm-hmm.
And he dropped the album with Jay-Z. When was that?
Written Testimony was 2020. 20, I think it's 20.
Something like that.
2020, that was the one.
Yeah.
That was a written testimony.
Okay.
But, even when I listened to that record, which I enjoyed, but I felt it was a Jay-Z record featuring Jay Electronica. But I was like, are we just going to keep putting out Shiny Suit Theory? Is that what we're doing?
Come on.
So with his whole mystique and what people expect for him, it's a little, I know it's weird because they're talking about the rapture and then all of a sudden he's dropping all of this music.
So we are in the last days.
You know what I'm saying? And he's dropping a whole bunch. He said he turned in 19 albums to Jay-Z. And he released all of those albums over this past weekend. Some of them were met with fanfare. Some of them was just like, okay, that's cool. But I feel like I don't think he's ever going to hit the height that he hit on Exhibit A and C.
It's not possible.
That's
No,
what
it's
that's what I'm
It's
looking
gone.
for.
Now, people are still
He missed that window,
revering him as one of the best MCs that they've heard.
which is wild.
Sure.
Based on his subject matter and how he uses words. And he's a unique artist.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The way that he puts together his religious beliefs along with other people's, because he's very knowledgeable when it comes to that.
Terrestrials in the chest where the spirit live. Just an example of Jay Electronica.
Yeah, he's very unique. Now, he's not in my personal top 5 or 10, but I understand why
God
people.
bless you, sir.
I understand why people will put him in there. I understand because of the type of artist that he is. He's very unique.
Right.
His raps mean something. It's not. He's just not rapping to be rapping, and that's the P's I can give him, because even at the height of where he could have took it somewhere else, he was just chilling. Like, he didn't even need this shit. Like, and it's weird in a sense because you were that hot and then you let the comment just fizzle. And now,
yes,
it did.
Oh, it 100% fizzled.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm
saying it
talking
burnt
complete
out.
smoke out. No,
But when he was featured on things, he was still solid. But he never stood on his own like he should have.
I've never seen an artist drop such a ball.
Yeah.
As Jay Electronica
That's what I'm
did.
saying. Like,
he was on top of the world with records that he was rapping.
Fact.
Like he was that guy.
Just Blaze production.
Anybody that was around and outside when Exhibit C was going on
Exhibit
A2,
C was the original Control verse.
But specifically C.
Yes.
It didn't matter where you were. It didn't matter who it was. Like it was like all of a sudden everybody.
It was the same
got
feeling
enamored.
when Ether dropped.
I don't know about that.
For me, at least.
Yeah.
When my generation got a hold of Ether, it was like, oh, what is this? It was kind of like, where were you the day that this happened? That's what it was.
To Long's point about Exhibit C, though, I've heard that everywhere. Yeah. And it rings off the same way, no matter where you are.
And you can still play it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Like, it's one of those records. He'll never reach that again. I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with him, quote unquote, dropping the ball in the way that he did. Like, he can do whatever he wants to do. But at the same time, like, if anybody had everything handed to them on a platter, to where
definitely.
Like you could just take it wherever you want to take it, and then you just say, nah.
There's one other artist that did that.
So
Cannabis.
Really?
Not to that.
No, not to this level.
I was outside. I was literally a senior in high school when cannabis was the hottest thing for about 5 months.
You're the same.
While LL Cool J was drawing breath?
Yes. I'm dead serious.
No, I
don't know
will,
about that one, Terry.
I'll
don't know
agree
about
with
that
Terry
one.
because I just remember there was a time we were checking for every single thing that cannabis did.
I remember that.
And then
But
when the album dropped, it was
Yeah.
like, man.
Oh no, when the album dropped, that's when that ended.
Yeah.
what
Oh, man.
what is
Like,
his
we
Exhibit
was-
C? What's his Exhibit
Please
C?
point
though?
them records out for me.
His Exhibit C would honestly, he was dropping, and this is a different era.
This means he can't name them.
I mean,
No, because it's different,
it's
man.
different because this
Yeah.
is when if you had those fire mixtapes versus, I
Yes.
remember those some of the first MP3s I ever downloaded.
Yes.
I get what you're
And
saying.
I mean,
we
I
would li-
remember
we
those
would-
too, but
we would listen
So
to
I'm not-
whole tapes of
Yeah.
just cannabis mixtapes. That's what got him
I'll
hot.
put it like this: he
But
doesn't
to
have it.
Lone's
He doesn't
point-
have an Exhibit C or
Right.
A, so to speak, or
Right.
A. But he was so fire at one point in time. That's the whole reason he was even featured on LL Cool J's song.
sure.
He was so silly with it. He knew what he was doing. This was a time where you couldn't just get on the internet and find anything.
Yeah.
He was very smart as far as that's concerned.
A rapper that
Make
I
sure
think
that you can
dropped
get
the
it to.
bar closer to Jay Electronica, but just not as hard. But in my opinion, it's in the same bracket for me would have been Lupe.
I don't feel like Lupe dropped it.
He definitely did.
Let's not go too far away from what
Yeah.
we're talking
Because
about.
that
No,
could be a whole
definitely. I
different
don't,
thing.
and I don't want to deviate, but if we're going for that, a person who had an Exhibit C also had everything handed to them, and when the moment was right, they decided to go left instead of striking that iron.
Well,
That's exactly why
he
I
had
brought up.
3 #1 albums though.
Yeah.
That's a different thing.
Yeah, that's different.
And plus, you got to understand a lot of the things that deterred Lupe's ascension, if you will, after that 3rd album had to do more with label politics.
Yes.
But Tony,
That's
let
fair.
me ask you this, right?
And he's never stopped. He's still dropping.
He's
I'm
still
still,
True.
listening
I
to
wouldn't say
Lupe's
he's still
records.
dropping heat, but yeah.
But let me ask you this, right? So we talked about the apex, if you will, with Exhibit A and C, right?
Yeah.
I want to speak more to the part about Jay Electronica's mystique, because when certain people have a hiatus and then they drop a
He
project,
doesn't have any any
that's
mistake
what I'm
anymore.
looking for.
So what he wanted out of this, and I'm not speaking for Jay Electronica, I'm speaking just from my perception.
right?
Because let me be honest with you. I think the last time I heard Jay Electronica, he had a featured verse and it was fire. So the only 2 records that really ring in my ears are A and C. So I stopped checking for him when he dropped the ball. So anything freestyles, whatever he dropped in between then, these last 4, I didn't even know he dropped them. You said something.
Right.
Let's be clear on that.
That's fair.
But another artist who does that, where they drop heat and disappear, Frank Ocean. The only difference is that he actually kept mystique. Jay Electronica kept showing up. He just would show up in conversation. He would show up as an addition to a conversation. He was still relevant. Frank Ocean literally disappears from your vocabulary entirely until he surfaces. And because everything he drops when he does surface is fire, that mystique is there.
On some
With Jay
3000
Electronica,
shit.
it's kind of like, is it worth even entertaining?
I think he
That
still.
mystique is gone.
I think he still has somewhat of a mystique.
He has an
tied to
expectation. He has a hope. He doesn't have a mystique.
Yeah, I can
There's
see
a
that.
hope there.
Yeah, that's a good.
That's crazy.
That's a good word.
He's about to
use.
drop, Lord, please don't suck versus
Yeah,
Frank
yeah.
Ocean. He's going to give us some fire and go back it off
But
into the
see,
sunset.
you're bringing up very good examples, but the problem with the examples that you're using is they're artists that have continued to drop. Now with Jay
So
Electronica,
he's had a drought between C and now, these 4 projects. He hasn't done anything.
no, he done one project.
2020.
Just the one
That
in
was
2020.
10 years after.
So then, like I said, he has a hope. So then take Frank Ocean off the table and just leave it at a hope.
Yeah, you can say that, but you have people that revere him as an elite MC,
Mm-hmm.
and they still look forward to the mystique of a Jay Electronica. Kind of like why we're having this conversation. Like he made a post about him not feeling Cardi B's album. He's not supposed to feel Cardi B's
Yeah, I'm
album,
not.
so he
Yeah.
shouldn't even make that post.
First of all,
My
let me
comment-
let me correct this comment. I didn't say I wasn't feeling it. I said I don't care to listen to it.
Right, but we know
Same
that.
thing.
Yeah.
We know that.
No, it's not. But
So
no, it's not.
my comment on his post was Jay Electronica dropped 3 albums today. You should not have a post about Cardi B.
And what I tell you,
he was gonna check for him.
You right.
no, what I said was
Fair-ish.
no.
He
What
didn't know. Well, he said he didn't know.
I said I wasn't anticipating it anyway, but
Yeah.
Shrug. I'll
See, that's
listen.
what I'm saying. Like when
There's
it
no
dropped,
anticipation here from me.
I'm looking at my timeline, and again, this is my timeline full of hip hop heads like you all. So I don't see this thing. You know whose album I did see come across my timeline?
What's that?
Joel Ortiz.
See,
A
I
name
didn't
I
even see
ain't
that.
heard
Damn, I
in
missed that.
forever.
I haven't seen that.
But he just dropped a project. There's mystique still around him on my timeline of people who are hip hop heads, but Jay Electronica drops 3 and not a single soul. At least I can't see it. I'm following
that's
you
just
all.
That's just I didn't post nothing.
I think that's his algorithm.
didn't
though.
either.
Might be
Yeah,
might be
yeah.
algorithm.
When I looked on there and I saw, I immediately wanted to see if it was a bunch of records I'd already heard before.
Yeah.
Because that's really what I feel like happens with Jay Electronica. Like, because he doesn't, whatever that dog is that makes, that has people want to be competitive in this thing. Because, I thought maybe we'll hear from Jay Electronica after this whole Kendrick thing, because he at one point they were putting them in the same kind of conversations.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
Man, Jay had a baby with Erykah Badu, man.
Are we blaming that?
No, we're not blaming that, but I mean,
Could be cause.
No, I mean, but and he was out there apparently running around with one of the Rothschilds and doing all sorts of, like, he's been distracted.
come on
But
now.
at the same time, like,
Zion.
if your calling is to
He's
be a
distracted.
top tier MC, and
He became a
Look.
fruit of Islam.
he had been that.
Yeah, he had, but he stood 10 toes down in it more so after the fact, though.
Yeah, I mean, I look, this is the thing with Jay Electronica. Like, is it ever going to be Exhibit A or Exhibit C? No, that time has passed.
It's gone.
Even if we get this mythical Jay Electronica album that is produced entirely by
Aliens.
Just Blaze.
Just Blaze, yeah.
Now I'll be like, okay, I mean, I guess I'll check it out. But at one point, that would have been the only thing I listened to for 3 months if it came out when it was supposed to.
But to Tony's point, I'm looking at this from a standpoint of someone that has not followed, but is aware of Jay, right? I know how nice he is.
We gotta call him Jay Electronica. He's not Jay.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Sorry. Thank you. Jay Electronica.
I don't think he gets that. He
I
doesn't-
put you long.
I don't think-
I don't want to be disrespectful.
I
right?
got it.
I got you. Yeah, he's actually right. So Jay Electronica,
yeah.
right? And I look at, I'm just gonna step back and say, what are the things that makes me that pop out of my head when I think about Jay Electronica?
2 records.
It's ANC. There's a video of him bringing out Hove at a concert where he does what's the name of that verse? Y'all know them. Y'all probably have seen it before. There's that video.
Control.
Or he's probably doing Shiny Suit Theory. Jay-Z.
Is that what it was? Because he comes
You
out from
forget
behind.
that he was on Control.
Yeah,
No, that's just because.
I just
we
remember
know
that
why.
was Big Sean's song.
Yeah.
But
Just now.
But
Yeah.
I'm saying that to say there are moments that I can pick out within a 20-year, 15, 20-year radius where I'm like,
15-ish, yeah.
15-ish we'll call it. And I'm like, that's not a good average when we talk about mystique, because it's like, I mean,
That's a
fam
one
go,
album every 10
10
year
year
average.
thank
And
you.
that's
It's
so,
not even that.
If Jay Electronica still
Thank
has Mystique, so does Lil Wayne, and he doesn't.
I don't know.
I don't think Lil Wayne ever had Mystique.
Lil
That's
Wayne-
a whole different
Yeah, but
conversation.
Lil Wayne just put out
because he
some
was always
bullshit.
active
So.
though.
He's been putting out bullshit for a while.
Go
That's
ahead,
the
Long.
point that I'm making.
Go ahead, Long.
I feel like we have to view Jay Electronica through a different lens.
Okay.
He's not playing this game. He's not playing it. He's not playing the I need to drop this whenever you want me to drop it. He's not
Yeah.
playing this I care about being the best of whatever. I already know I'm good. Every verse that I've heard Jay Electronica drop has been good. I've
Facts.
never heard him say anything that wasn't. He dropped a Chance feature that just came on Chance's last album. We just heard him do something with Rory. It was a couple years ago.
Mhm.
He blacking on the stuff that's new here. Blacking
I'm just
all
saying,
the way
like,
out.
like he, on one hand, I kind of commend him for just saying F you to the system. I'm going to do whatever I feel like.
Right.
Y'all can argue however y'all want to argue. But on the other hand, you do kind of see it from the perspective of like, man, he really could have been something
That's
special.
what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
And so,
man.
like, but the way that I look at this in general is like, I more so lean towards just appreciating the fact that he has control of the stuff that he's doing and he's putting out how he wants, and that's what it is.
does that consumer side of you still tug just a little bit though? Because you just said it, man. He could have been. To me, that's the consumer side.
Sure,
Or am I wrong?
it's the side of me that I don't care about, that I don't really, I don't
Okay,
put
that's
any
fair.
stock in. Like, I don't honestly care if Jay Electronica drops anything else for the rest of his life. I don't care.
That's fair.
I'm not a fan like that. If he does drop something that's great, that's spectacular. I'll listen to it and I'll be like, you know what, this is dope. You know what I mean? But like, And I feel like in general, that's, don't get me wrong, we're all fans of different people and we want our favorites to drop stuff, but I feel like that's how we should feel. Like rever the people for the things that they've done. Nothing can compare. Like, I'm telling you, you guys were there when that moment around Exhibit C was a special moment. And it just what it was. And
the way I feel about
I think less people have an Exhibit C moment than they do have long careers. So
jump in, Tony.
I was just gonna say that to Lone's point, I put the instrumental for Exhibit C, the beginning of it, up there with Stone Cold Steve Austin's Glass Break. The moment you hear it, you know what's about to come on. And a crowd, Terry used to do Vibe on Wednesday. A Vibe on Wednesday crowd would be stuck in their tracks, going bar for bar every word on Exhibit C. And these are people who listen to Boosie. These are people who listen to Cardi B. These are people who listen to battle rappers. There's a mixed crowd that comes to that open mic. I've been in many a crowd where that Exhibit C beat comes on, even if you're not going to actually play the lyrics, if you're mixing it with a different song, you can catch about 25 to 40% of that crowd. No, it's a jump, but anywhere between 25 to 40%, that crowd is mumbling the Exhibit C words to whatever it is you think you playing in this mix. That record has such a gravity.
Yeah,
so
it's
imagine
powerful.
getting that and then nothing else. To me, it's like getting the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill and then
nothing
not
else.
showing up to shows.
Yeah, I mean, shit. It was two songs and he did.
Petty, man. He's petty.
At least you got the
two
whole
songs
album.
and gone.
He gave you 2 songs and he was just like, all right, I'm gonna just chill in the cut. That's kind of what I was alluding to earlier. He was just like, all right, I'm gonna just chill right here for a minute and I'm a procreate with Erykah Badu because she's a earthly being that I feel very comfortable around.
I remember when I first heard that at Coach's. And it's something, and it's a Coach's staple to this day.
Yes.
It's a situation to where, like, if you're a DJ and you just are kind of barely getting by at Coach's, and be okay, Exhibit C is going to buy me about 3 minutes so I can get my shit together.
Yeah.
And so there are not many people who have a record like that.
Yeah.
And that to Lone's point, but actually to you piggybacking off of that with, now everybody can't say that they have those records. To me, that makes me sit down and say, well, damn, I can do critical analysis. I can be a fan. I can be mad about XYZ, but somebody that can rap that well, that has dope material, that has come out whenever it's come out, and he has 2 of those, that's different.
It's like he manipulated the whole one-hit wonder situation because I didn't even try to put nothing else out. So you can't even hit me with the one-hit wonder thing. I'm going to put this shit out whenever I feel like it. And y'all gonna get it, and y'all gonna appreciate it, and it is what it is.
And that's kind of always how it's been. Like the first time I got hip to Jay Electronica, I felt like I just got a bunch of random songs. I don't know where. I don't know where they came from. I don't know if I downloaded them on the internet. Like
me too.
I was like, where? And then it was like, okay, some of these songs are on this other project over here, and then and his entire career has just been here's some random songs. Yeah.
He don't care.
Maybe you've never heard these before. It's like I feel like Exhibit C has been on 4 different albums. So it's
I just remember the first time someone was trying to talk to me about Jay Electronica through the internet. I was like, all I heard was Electronica. I was like, man, I'm not trying to hear none of that bullshit. But
Jay Electronica.
But
hearing that house music.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, because this was, I don't know, maybe was it around the dubstep era? I just know his name reminded me of some shit I did not want to listen to in my spare time.
Jay Electronica.
That ounce.
Yeah, so
Hey, Lo.
that Jersey Shore Vegas shit.
Skrillex.
Hey, Lone did the drop.
oh, foam party ass music.
Oh my God, man! Shout out to Glow Stick Music, man.
Keep going.
Yo, but no,
those
man,
ad-libs were crazy.
he's one of those. This is a unique situation where 2 records or 2 joints can buy you a lot of time because we are still raving about those records now with all of the roller coasters and all the random shit and finding records here and there.
I think C gets raved about. I don't think A gets raved about as much because A is for the heads.
A is phenomenal though.
A is for the heads.
A is phenomenal.
Isn't that the one that had the bum bum
Yeah.
bum bum bum?
I don't even know A.
The most electrified. The
Yes, you
soul.
do.
Yeah.
The stuff was just so monumental when it was dropping.
They said Candyman, give me
There
your
you
drink.
go.
That one,
That
like
one.
only heads really know A. But C
is
That's
the
the Holy
universal
Grail.
record. That's fair.
Look,
That's fair.
I remember when it got because remember for a long time he was running around with Puff Daddy, and they thought it was gonna.
He used to live with him and Cassie.
What?
Don't.
Dead serious.
No,
he's got a bar in one of these things, like something like related to that, which is kind of clever.
And the thing is, like, he referenced Puff Daddy all the time. If you go back,
referenced
even in the Exhibit C
joint that he just
and so
we gonna drop that verse and you taking long. Yeah.
I remember I was driving to Chicago with my girl at the time, and it was the same weekend like Michael Jackson had passed, and they broke into all like the Michael Jackson mixes they were touring on satellite radio to say that Jay Electronica had signed with Jay-Z. And so we thought
it was that long ago.
It was that
part
long ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, buddy doesn't get a pass. Ain't no Mystique. The only Mystique we acknowledge is an X-Men. Ain't no Mystique.
Damn.
NewOldHeads.com for all the education you need this year. If you see it, like it, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Also, remember to check out our Patreon page where you can get our exclusive, unedited episodes. We appreciate your support, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Yeah. Bong. Throw down that box.
Square bond.